Just finally, there's been a lot of headlines linking Andy Robertson with a move away to Spurs. I suppose you brought him on at half-time. Says you need him.
I think I need all my players, but Robbo had to come in at half-time. In my opinion, I always knew that for Milos, another 90 minutes against a very intense Bournemouth side was not a possibility for him. So I always knew I had to bring him in, but I had already had one substitution in the first half. Then you don't have another. Then you only have 2 moments left. So I thought let's bring Robbo in at half-time to make sure that Milos stays available for the rest of the season, because there are a lot of games to be played with the players available. I have to manage that as well, because the last thing we could need right now is another injury.
Liverpool fans, I need you locked in right now, because what's starting to take shape at Anfield is not just another transfer rumor. It's a moment that could quietly redefine the left side of this team for the next phase of this project. When you hear the name Antonee Robinson linked seriously with Liverpool, this isn't about headlines or hype. This is about timing, structure, evolution, and a club that understands exactly when to turn the page without tearing the book apart. And I know the moment Andy Robertson's name comes into the conversation, emotions run high, because Robbo isn't just a left back. He's a symbol of everything this modern Liverpool era stood for: intensity, resilience, humility, and relentless energy. But football doesn't stop for nostalgia, and the smartest clubs in the world are the ones that evolve before decline forces their hand. Reports coming out of reliable outlets like Team Talk and Caught Offside suggest Liverpool are preparing a renewed and accelerated push for Fulham and USMNT left back Antonee Robinson, and the context here matters. This isn't a random January panic move. This is a calculated response to a very real scenario. Andy Robertson, after nearly a decade of elite service at Anfield, is in advanced talks with Tottenham. That alone should tell you how serious this is. Liverpool aren't scrambling, they're planning, and Arne Slot, alongside the sporting department, clearly sees Robinson not as a like-for-like replacement emotionally, but as a tactical continuation with a slightly different profile that fits where this team is heading next. Let's talk about Robinson as a footballer first, because too many people still underrate him simply because he plays for Fulham and because he doesn't come with a flashy highlight reel every weekend. Antonee Robinson has quietly become one of the most reliable, consistent, and physically dominant fullbacks in the Premier League over the last 2 seasons. Elite pace, not just quick, but recovery pace that saves defensive structures when things break down. Strong one-on-one defending, especially against wingers who rely on raw speed. And most importantly, an engine that allows him to repeat high-intensity sprints deep into matches, something that Liverpool's system has always demanded from its fullbacks. Statistically, Robinson ranks among the league leaders in progressive carries from fullback positions, interceptions, and defensive duels won. That tells you something important. He's not just a touchline runner. He's involved in build-up, he advances the ball, and he reads danger early. Under Marco Silva at Fulham, his positional discipline has improved massively. He doesn't bomb forward blindly anymore. He chooses his moments, and that maturity matters when you're stepping into a side like Liverpool, where positional awareness is non-negotiable.
Now, here's where the conversation gets even more interesting. Liverpool already moved last summer to secure Milos Kerkez as a long-term option at left back, and that decision now looks even smarter. Instead of expecting one player to immediately replace Robertson's legacy, Liverpool are thinking in terms of structure. A Robinson-Kerkez partnership on the left side gives Slot flexibility. Robinson brings Premier League experience, physical reliability, and immediate readiness. Kerkez brings youth, upside, aggression, and long-term development. Together, that's not redundancy, that's depth with purpose. And this is where fans need to take a step back and appreciate how different this feels compared to previous eras. Liverpool aren't waiting for Robertson to fall off a cliff. They're acting while he still has value, while the squad can be refreshed organically, and while new leadership under Slot can be established without burning bridges to the past. Robertson leaving wouldn't erase what he gave this club, it would simply mark the end of a chapter that was always going to close eventually. Sources close to Robinson indicate he is very open, even keen on an Anfield move, and that shouldn't surprise anyone. For a 28-year-old entering his peak years, the opportunity to play Champions League football, compete for trophies, and work under an elite coaching structure is exactly the step that defines careers. Robinson has done the hard work. He's proven himself in the Premier League. Now he wants to test himself at the highest possible level, and Liverpool represent that platform. Of course, Fulham aren't pushovers in this situation. Robinson is under contract until 2028, and Marco Silva has made it clear he values stability and continuity. Fulham know exactly what they have. They won't sell cheaply, and nor should they. But Liverpool aren't strangers to negotiating from positions of mutual respect. If there's one thing this club has shown in recent years, it's patience and discipline in the market. They don't overpay out of desperation. They move when the conditions align. And here's an angle that doesn't get talked about enough. Robinson's arrival wouldn't just be about defense, it would subtly reshape Liverpool's attacking balance. With Salah on the right often holding width or drifting inside depending on the system, the left side becomes crucial for maintaining verticality and stretching defenses. Robinson's overlapping runs, combined with his ability to carry the ball through pressure, create space higher up the pitch. That opens lanes for left-sided forwards and midfielders to operate between the lines. It's not flashy, but it's devastating when executed correctly.
From a broader squad perspective, this move also signals something important about Arne Slot's vision. Slot values intensity, structure, and repeatable actions. Robinson fits that profile perfectly. He's not a luxury player, he's a system player who raises the floor of the team week after week. And championship-winning sides are built on reliability as much as brilliance. Now, let's address the emotional side, because it matters. Andy Robertson is a modern Liverpool icon. There's no debate about that. His story, his personality, his influence in the dressing room, those things don't disappear overnight. But football clubs that succeed long-term understand when to honor the past while investing in the future. Robertson potentially moving on as part of a broader squad refresh doesn't diminish his legacy. If anything, it highlights how strong that legacy is, that Liverpool can transition from it with clarity rather than chaos. What excites me most about the Robinson links is not just the player himself, but what it says about Liverpool's direction. This is not a club reacting emotionally to losses or noise. This is a club aligning profile, age curve, tactical fit, and opportunity. Robinson is entering his prime. Kerkez is developing. Slot is establishing his identity. The pieces are lining up. And let's not forget the USMNT angle here either. Robinson is approaching a period where international tournaments and global exposure will increase his profile even more. Liverpool bringing him in before that peak could turn this into not just a sporting success, but a smart piece of squad value management as well. So when you zoom out and look at the full picture, this potential move makes a lot of sense. It's calm, it's logical, it's ambitious without being reckless, and most importantly, it's Liverpool thinking like Liverpool at their best. Now I want to hear from you. Do you see Antonee Robinson as the right successor to Andy Robertson at this stage of the project? Do you like the idea of a Robinson-Kerkez left side? Or would you prefer Liverpool to chase a younger, less proven option? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this conversation matters. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button. It helps the channel more than you know. And make sure you subscribe to Red View Update so you don't miss what's coming next.